shouldn't have thrown the ball. He tries to look away, which is good for a young quarterback. Now he comes back to Ernie Gray, but Harris has just been watching out of the corner of his eye. Remember, the Cowboys only have 11 interceptions all year. They could have used that. Here's Larry Cole stomping through the back pasture.
J.T. Turner blocking on him. Neville on Dutton. And doing a very good job. 2nd and 10 as Gray comes in motion. Kansas City 27-7 over Seattle. The drop play rolls up the middle.
Right where Randy White used to live, right? And you've got to understand what Randy's bride is having to live with, because Randy White wants to play football above all else. And his foot just has not recuperated, and they are using that hole a lot. This steamroller blew through right now.
Double tight end offense now for the Giants with Gary Shirk and Lord McCreary on 3rd and 1. Line of scrimmage, the Dallas 36. No score, but the Giants driving. And looking good. Taylor, I do not believe, got the first down. He was hit as he started over the top by Benny Barnes.
Like young Thurman got under 2. And that's only about a foot they need. Let's see what happens. This will indicate how the Cowboys are going to play. Look at Brunig plug that hole. Great job by Barnes. Remember, if the Cowboys get physical, they can play with anybody. They've proven that.
The offensive captain, Jim Clack, the center, looking at the measurement to see how close they came. It looks like they might just have it. The signals you can see coming from Pat Hodgson to quarterback Phil Simms indicating what play they want called. Every one of them is done like that.
Looked like a religious. I didn't know if he was going to pray or what.
I think probably he will before the day's over.
If it's a good play, it'll help, huh?
First down, Giants at the 36-yard line of Dallas. Just over 10 minutes left to play, and Taylor breaks a couple of tackles, gets 2 or 3 yards, and is finally gang tackled by the Cowboy defense led by Larry Bethea.
Contact. Let's see it on the line of scrimmage. Back to the offside. Here's Van Horn. He's an Ohio Stater of the old school. Reverses into the hole, seals it off. Dallas looks like they're hitting, but that's the secondary people making some of those tackles. That's dangerous, too.
In spite of all that, there was a 4-yard pickup for Billy Taylor. It'll be 2nd and 6. They operate from the 32 with Ernie Gray in motion. It's back Taylor. He's getting the workout. Oh, what a play by Randy Hughes.
Great play by Mike Hegman, too. Number 58. Oh, you're right down on the floor with it. Watch the linebacker on the tight side, number 50. It'll come up. Show. There's Hughes turning the play back inside. Oh, that's great. Safety man and linebacker played it like you draw it.
3rd and 3 situation coming up for Dallas as you look over at their bench. Los Angeles has taken a lead over Minnesota. 7-0 Rams.
Does the young quarterback throw it?
I would think so. And has Robinson for first down. A good throw. They cleared out what they wanted to clear out.
The little man from Georgia Tech just caught his 12th pass of the year. Those look like Little League pads, right? He's not big, but he does have great hands. And with the safety blitz coming, watch Simms stay right in there. It's fairly well picked up, and Hegman got a piece of the quarterback. That throw was right on. Aaron Kyle, the cornerback, obviously in man-to-man coverage on the blitz.
And right where they are now, you can see that we will have a problem adjusting to the severe change in light. And that's the only place you'll have that problem today because of the late start of the game. Here's Johnson spinning down inside the 15. It's a good-looking drive.
Well, they've hit every hole on the line of scrimmage. They've run at Harvey Martin. They've run at Big Dutton. They've run at Randy White's hole a couple of times. They're making everybody play pretty honest on that defensive side.
C.D. Lewis and Cliff Harris, the tacklers on that last play. 2nd and 5. They chew them up in chunks.
We don't know if Rodgers feels good or not today. We haven't seen the Dallas offense at all.
7:35 left in the first quarter, and the Giants have had it all the time. Not quite enough for a first down, but nevertheless, a good offensive charge. Billy Taylor, the ball carrier.
What a great tackle by Harvey Martin. Over the top. And again, he has to pick up where Randy White left out. Right? Watch to the right of your screen. You'll see number 79. Incredible. 6'5", 255 pounds. Airborne.
A 3rd and 3 situation. The Cowboys appear to anticipate pass. Pat Hodgson in the red shirt signaling again to his quarterback.
Can they shake off a signal like?
Yes. Double tight end again, and here's a shake-off. Timeout Giants, as Sims wasn't quite sure.
Without sounding, we'll talk about the size of
Texas Stadium in Dallas.
They're the thighs that I was speaking of, Sims' thighs, and for a fellow that's not too large at like 204 or 5 pounds, he does have a real good set of wheels. Very important, though, when you have 500 pounds on your back.
That is the final score as the Eagles win their 10th game of the year. They haven't done that since 1961. Here's Billy Taylor banging down to about the 10.
Rudy got the first down.
Close to it.
The offensive line for the Giants has come so far. It's incredible to think that somehow before Bill Austin flew in that second game of the season and it's gotten them together. Neville against Dutton. Watch the left part of your screen. There's Brudig, number 53, the big middle linebacker. Flack cuts him off. Larry Cole gets cut off and gets into the hole. Billy Barnes comes from the outside.
And Neville got a good block on John Dutton. Ray Perkins doesn't show much emotion anytime, but his team does. Double tight end. Roy Simmons in the backfield and hit right inside the 10 by Benny Barnes is Billy Taylor.
I know Bruce Hunter and a couple of linebackers ran at the line of scrimmage that time, and the Giants got outside of it. Watch this charge now. You can see Brunig already making the move, anticipating hard-nosed football, and Dallas didn't let them have anything easy. Harris turns it in. Barnes makes the tackle. The Giants get the first down.
Would remind you and welcome those of you who watch Detroit and Philadelphia that there is no score at Texas Stadium, but the Giants are on the move. Billy Taylor bowls over Cliff Harris. If it had not been for Cliff, the Giants would be on the board.
And this is the team that's last in the NFL in rushing. I think they're averaging like 113 yards a game. So you can, as we say, take a few stats and just burn them. Sometimes it's emotional effort, even on a foreign rink like this.
Last in the league in total offense against the team that's first in the league in total offense. Second and goal at the 2. No score, but there's about to be. Touchdown, Billy Taylor.
That's Taylor's 7th touchdown of the year, and Clack took the ball from Billy, and he spiked at the offensive center. They are together.
Touchdown coming at you.
Turner coming out on the scissor block. Harris met it on the line of scrimmage. Turner just takes the ball carrier and gets him just to the line. He didn't have it by much. In fact, I wonder if he got to the line.
Roy Simmons, who's a backup guard, was lined up in the Giants backfield that time, and he threw one of the key blocks from the flanking back position. Joe Danilo makes it 7-0. Right, they kept the ball 10 minutes and 16 seconds. Ran off 18 plays in that drive. This is Ron Springs. Starting back up the middle. Now swings to the outside. Takes a couple of tackles. Gets a good block from Bruce Heather. And gets outside to 30. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited.
Giants had 15 rushes. Now we see the offensive line: Donovan, Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, Wright, and B.J. Dupre, who's one of the good tight ends around.
Wide will be Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. Roger Staubach, of course, the quarterback. Dorsett and Newhouse will open. Doug Cosby is also in the game. A backup tight end, a double tight end formation for Dallas as the Giants operate with a three-man front. Dorsett. Looked like something might develop, but Ray Rhodes recovered quickly.
What a play by Rhodes. Came out and took a solo block and turned in one of the most dangerous ball carriers ever. Martin, Mendenhall, Tabor, and Jeter, but I think they're in a three-man front. If they are, Tabor will not be in there, the big rookie from Oklahoma. Linebackers, Van Pelt, Carlson, Kelly, and, of course, the young linebacker that will be in there in place of Lloyd is...
Randy Cofield.
There, that's the one, young Cofield, who played pretty well last week.
And the secondary, you saw, Jackson, Rhodes at the corner. Beasley, Reese, and Ray Odom. The deep men. It is again a three-man front, and Cofield will be in the game. Staubach again gives to Dorsett, and Dorsett again will find no day. He got maybe one as John Mendenhall led the Giant defensive charge.
Good play by George Martin, too, the left defensive end.
On the Giant bench, that is Bill Austin, an ex-Giant guard, an ex-Redskin head coach, an assistant coach around the league in various places.
And the fullback now has to be such a great blocker that he actually is involved with the offensive line and blocking patterns.
Atlanta 7-0 over San Diego. That comes as very much of a surprise, of course. Three-man rush by the Giants. It'll be Mendenhall over the nose of the center. Jeter and George Martin, the defensive end. Shotgun formation. Staubach. In Giants territory for Dallas first down. Alan Caldwell, an extra defensive back in there, made the stop on Drew.
Catch number 50 for Drew Pearson, number 88. He's had 3 consecutive games of over 100 yards in receiving. He's not too fast, but watch him as he goes up to take a high throw. Watch him just ease into it. Make sure of the catch, and then take his punishment. And the way he gets away with that is because he relaxes.
He is tough in the clutch. Cowboys have a chance to have both of their wide receivers today go over 1,000 yards in pass receiving as Staubach brings back to Dorsett. Dorsett to the 45. Harry Carson, the first Giant to hit him. Kansas City 30-7 over Seattle. Wow.
Some people think that the Dallas offensive line does not block the 34 defense as well as they do the regular 4-3. And the people that tell me that are Dallas offensive line.
That comes from a
pretty good source.
Authentic, at least.
You have to chase them so much further to get to those linebackers and moving targets.
That is not Jokic who's putting on his foot. Second and 7. Here is Newhouse first carry and nothing doing for him. They just can't get it going on the ground.
Like Roger Staubach almost fumbled that snap. And again, when you're a defending champion and you start having trouble like fumbles and interceptions and watch the other team drive down the full length of the field, everybody gets a little tight. Watch him grab that. They made sure of the ball. And Newhouse, the fullback, has got to start getting some of the pressure off Tony Dorsett.
They have not been alternating Newhouse and Scott Laidlaw. Now they've got the 4 wide receiver, the 4-man rush for the Giants, and it's a pretty good rush from George Martin. Staubach throws outside. Had it for a moment, juggled and dropped it out of bounds, but they're going to call it complete. Harry Jackson on the coverage.
And watch how Roger steps inside of the Martin rush. He'll come to the right of your screen and throws the ball back so that Drew has driven Terry Jackson off and comes back, and that's the only way this ball is completed. And he didn't get 2 feet down, but I think Jackson drove him out before he did get the other foot down.
Pearson had 49 catches for 918 yards coming in, so he is creeping up on that 1,000-yard mark. Tony Hill, the other wide receiver, has not caught one as yet. Here's Dorsett cutting for good yardage, this time down to about the 26. Gary Jeter chased him down from the other side.
Great block by number 44, Newhouse. Fullback went out there and acted like a pulling guard. From the inside out, watch 44 go and actually open the hole up for Dorsett. There's the fill man. Held him just a little bit. Effective.
It'll be 2nd and 3 after that 7-yard pickup. The line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line of the Giants. No score as yet. 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Dorsett again. Takes a couple of tackles, releases the football or not, it still belongs to Dallas. He was the last man with possession before it went out of bounds. That's close.
Now, handling passes and rushes, Dorsett's only fumbled one time in the last 187 times he handled it. Lost fumble only one time. This time he went outside. The play was designed actually to go off inside the tackle. Well, let's see if they're scrambling for control or if the official just called it.
He called it correctly.
Here's the other angle of that. Let's see. Oh, it left early. That was a live pigskin right there.
But he's the last man with total possession.
Kelly almost had it, huh?
Almost. But he fumbled as his feet went out of bounds. And this time it's Newhouse back to the other side. No place to go. Harry Carson was not fooled.
Dallas is pulling out all stops. They pulled the off tackle, number 70, Rayfield Wright. Watch him come and come all the way across and trap to the outside. The play was very slow, no deception, and just didn't do any good with it.
The end of the
quarters, the first time that that's happened to a Dallas team since 1960.
And that was the first year of their existence. Here's Dorsett by Ray Oldham when it looked like things were really going to open up for Tony D.
Oldham made a great play, and he's playing with a flak jacket because he's got some broken ribs, some cracked ones. Came from Pittsburgh, used to be with Baltimore, and he is playing like gangbusters. Look at this fill now. Linebacker misses, and the little safety man really tackles a very dangerous runner. Good play.
About as good an open field tackle as you will ever see on a very difficult man to hit like that. Tony Dorsett.
Two tough receivers. Tony Hill to the top and Drew Pearson to the bottom.
Third down, about 6. Preston Pearson in the backfield, and Staubach finally throws. It's almost intercepted. But we will see Raphael Septien. It was intended for Jay Saldi, and it was Alan Caldwell who almost picked it off.
Saldi made a great play out of it by not allowing it to be intercepted. Watch the tight end. He goes down, hooks up. Roger actually wanted to go to Preston Pearson, but watch the play Saldi makes going over and just making sure that the defender knew someone else was around.
Unless I missed my guess, he checked to see who it was. Raphael Septien from 35 yards away with Danny White holding.
He's 18 of 25, one of the surest kickers right now in football.
He's standing in the sunlight. The ball's in the shadow. I don't know if that's a factor or not. Must have been. No good. He booked in the Iranian situation at the half. Right now, there are 14 minutes, 8 seconds left to play in the second period, with the Giants leading 7-0 over Dallas. Phil Simms, the quarterback, gives to Billy Taylor. He hits behind the line of scrimmage, and I believe it would have to be Larry Cole.
There's Van Horn pulling 63. Harvey Martin just stunted right into the hole from the backside of the play. And it looks like number 79 is going to try to carry this team. Somebody said they need Lilly leadership. Actually, what they need is to get physical again, the way the Cowboys win.
It'll be 2nd and 10. No gain. Denver leading Buffalo 19-16. That was the final score. Simms again to Billy Taylor. Taylor hits before he gets back to the line of scrimmage again, led by Randy Hughes, the safety man. And now, the Atlanta-San Diego score has moved down into a tie situation at 7 apiece as the Cowboys send in multiple substitutions. Bill Simms in a passing situation.
And big play defense. That's what has been sadly missing from the Cowboys, at least over the last 5 weeks. Get a chance to steal the ball and make the offense have to punt from deep in their own territory. Good chance here.
San Francisco 10, St. Louis 7, 3rd and 11 here for Phil Simms and his Giant offensive unit. Ernest Gray comes in motion, and Simms throws quickly to Gary Church. Is it Church or Gray?
Ernie Gray coming back in motion, Patrick. They like to bring him under there, and Simms is mad because he didn't get the first down.
Cliff Harris is the man who made the stop on Ernest Gray. And Dave Jennings comes onto the scene, number 13. The NFC's leading punter, Steve Wilson, back deep, along with Wade Manning, just been activated last week.
Jennings can act out the part of being roughed rather easily, too, can't he? You can't get near him.
High kick. Wade Manning. Steve Wilson, I beg your pardon, goes up with a fair catch signal. And that's what he does. The Cowboys will take over at their own 37-yard line. With
There's some guys that sign the contract and put it in the safety deposit box and they just play because they like it. He's one of them.
The Rams and the Vikings are now tied. 7 apiece. First and 10 here. Tony Dorsett and Robert Newhouse operating behind Roger Staubach. Bruce Pearson in motion to the left. Roger's going to throw on first down. Has a good time. And does throw. He has a man open. It's Tony Hill. And a flag goes down. Ray Oldham ran into Hill.
If Oldham hadn't done that, it was going to be a touchdown anyway. Cody Hill was flat, leaving the scene of the crime. Watch this. Good play on first down. And Roger hums it. He airs this one out. A lot of good time to throw it.
Defensive pass interference, number 25, first down.
There's the contact. Tony Hill would have gobbled that up and been spiking it.
Terry Jackson was the other Giant who was nearest to play, but Oldham, in spite of the fact that the yellow flag went down, as Tom Brookshire pointed out, made a good play. That's the final score. The Buccaneers struggling now as the Bears stay alive in the playoff picture. They shut out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 14-0. Billy Joe Dupree and Doug Cosby, double tight end, set to the outside. 10, fumble again. The ball goes out of bounds. Beasley Reese made the tackle.
Great recovery by the Giant defense, because that time Dorsett used that special quality, which is going wherever I want because I'm so quick. Watch him dip inside. He decides, oh, heck, I'll go where it's not so congested. And now there's some recovery out here. Well, watch Reese get clipped by Pearson and still gets in on the play. That's great defense.
Terry Jackson finally made the tackle. Second down, 5. At the 8. Pearson again comes in motion. It is Scott Laidlaw this time straight ahead, and he might have gotten a yard. No more as Harry Carson really filled the hole.
Imagine Billy Sims playing for the Dallas Cowboys, the Oklahoma All-American. I guess that's a crazy thing to think about, but he and Dorsett in the same backfield would be rather formidable.
I have a feeling he may not be available when their time to draft comes.
They have funny ways of getting number ones, though.
They do. 3rd and 4. Laidlaw goes out. The lone setback is Dorsett. And they use 3 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. Staubach is going to throw to one of them and does. Steve Pearson makes a one spectacular catch again for a touchdown. Terry Jackson stopped him, but Pearson hung on.
The 6th touchdown catch for Drew Pearson. Remember when everybody early in the year said maybe Tony Hill would steal all the thunder? You can't do it with 88. He keeps his mouth shut and has great hands and is a great team player. It's a great catch.
Tough catch. Raphael Septien will try for the extra point to tie the score with Danny White holding. It's 7-all with 10 minutes and 31 seconds left to play in the first half.
Roger is 3 for 4, 36 yards, a touchdown. And didn't the computer come out with that he and Sonny Jurgensen are now the top quarterbacks of all time?
Tied. Of course, Sonny no longer active in football. Septien gets off to Steve Odom. Odom looks for a little crease. His tackle just inside the 20. Aaron Mitchell. Let's run down some of the other final scores. The Bears stay alive and stay in the playoff picture by shutting out Tampa Bay 14-0. Bucks have now lost 2 in a row. Philadelphia very impressively over Detroit 44-7.
And they have
their
the
record now 10-4. The Cowboys next week will be there. Washington, after trailing, keeps their playoff hopes alive very much, beating Green Bay 38-21. The Jets over Baltimore 30-17. First and 10 at Texas Stadium, where the Giants and Cowboys are tied at 7. Billy Taylor, the ball carrier, might have struggled for a couple. More scores now. Pittsburgh 37-17 over Cincinnati. That's the final. And Denver stays on the heels of San Diego, 19-16 over Buffalo. That loss for the Bills just about knocks them out of it. 14-7 Cleveland over Houston. Cleveland keeps their playoff hopes alive, and Houston has to wait a while. Game played in a snowstorm in Cleveland. 2nd and 7 here. Steve Odom and Dwight Scales operate in the Giant offensive unit. Here's Phil Simms looking for Billy Taylor, who ran into D.D. Lewis, and here comes the penalty marker.
A late flag, but right now the Dallas defense is sort of picking the whole stadium up and the whole team up. And they're riding them hard. They're stunning a lot. Off the line of scrimmage. They're going to call Dede for the interference, but it's just going to turn them on.
Interference, number 50, first down.
It appeared to us, at least, you heard the voice of Pat Haggerty, that Taylor ran into Lewis. But let's watch and see. Let's see what we can find out.
It's always a close call. That's the reason that interference counts so much. They've already made contact underneath. Depends if you're going for the ball or not. Then you can run into people, I guess, without having to pay the price.
It's a very marginal situation when you can run into whom when. Here's Simms looking to the outside, looking in the direction of Steve Odom. Benny Barnes on the coverage. Incomplete.
Dallas defense is beginning to squeeze, though. They're beginning to play some reckless, tough football again.
San Diego 10-7 over Atlanta. You think the Chargers will be in the Super Bowl, don't you?
I think they have a good chance. I think they're still along. The last 2 games are going to be very important for darn near every team in football.
Oh, yeah.
Who's eliminated? I can't figure a team that still isn't in.
Well, going into the day, there were 19 out of the 28 that still had a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. 19. Draw play to Taylor. Dragged down from behind, I believe, by Harvey Martin. Kansas City leading Seattle 37-14 in the 4th quarter. That'll just about finish Seattle's playoff hopes.
Randy White just came in for the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll see how that foot is reacting. He just simply couldn't push off of it during this week and was extremely depressed about it.
He didn't even start to run until Wednesday, and that's what he said. He could run once he got going, but sudden starts were very difficult. He's number 54 as part of that 4-man rush. Simms was caught by Harvey Martin and Randy White. Dave Stalls was also in on the defense. And Bruce Thornton also part of the rush.
And the great thing is that Randy White coming in, they did double him because they don't know. Watch 2 men now. Clack and Van Horn will take Randy White, and somebody else is going to be free. And it was Harvey Martin from the backside. There's Thornton.
And Thornton from the other side. Watch Randy and see how he looks.
There he is. If I had an embassy, this is the guy I would put at the front door.
It is Dave Jennings. Or maybe if I wanted somebody out of that embassy. Jennings has it come off the side of his foot. The pressure was applied by Ron Springs, and he might have had his eye on him instead of the football. 7-7 score with 8 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the 2nd quarter.
No roughing, but Springs made a pretty good angle run at this blocking this punt, almost getting it up. Jennings might have expected to be hit.
Rats. Roswell, New Mexico.
They've been in a deep depression with the Cowboys losing these games. I'll tell you, New Mexico's in a state of shock.
You got to go out there and visit and pick up the spirits. Don't get the wrong impression.
Yes.
That was Dorsett, the ball carrier. Ray Rhodes. Tackler, as Dorsett got about 4. So we'll make it 2nd and 6.
Those Dallas offensive guards are 2 of the best pulling guards in football. I'm talking about Rafferty and Scott. Straight ahead inside against the 34, they have a little trouble. They had before. Let's watch them a little bit.
They just don't like that 34. That's what they're facing right now. Dave Salvi and Doug Crosby both in the game as Salvi's put out wide to the left. Staubach looking and trying to set up a screen, knocked down by George Martin. It was supposed to be a tight end screen to Billy Joe Dupree.
Remember when Martin took one of those from Billy Kilmer one day and scooted in for a touchdown? Former basketball player who has 10 sacks this year, and 75 is really playing football. A lot of time, they're setting up the screen, and Martin spikes it.
So it'll be third down as the plays come in from Tom Landry. Probably Preston Pearson, number 26, brings it in. Butch Johnson is in the game also, so is Tony Hill, and Preston Pearson, and Drew Pearson.
What a bunch of receivers.
Wow.
Class.
And a shotgun formation. Faces a four-man rush and a blitz from the Giants. Staubach just throws it up in the air, and nobody is there. Tony Hill was the intended receiver. Alan Caldwell back on the coverage. Staubach did not have time to get set.
That's the wildest blitz I ever saw. Marion, number 51 and company, just sailed through the air as they were trying to get pressure on Roger, and did.
Two great guys in a Giant organization working on Billy Taylor. John Ziegel on the right, and John Johnson the other one.
Taylor looks like he maybe have gotten hit a little bit, huh?
Minnesota 14-7 over the Rams. They're doing some job as a spoiling team, and don't forget that they are not out of the playoff picture yet. Doesn't seem possible with all the difficulty they've had, but they're still alive. Oh, fine punt from Danny White. Steve Odom back catches, spins away from Aaron Kyle. Fumble. I think the Cowboys have it. It is Ron Springs who makes the recovery for Dallas. Benny Barnes caused it.
Well, this is a big one. That's only the 8th fumble that the Dallas team has recovered of the opposition's fumbles all year. Here is Odom, and he is good at this. Let's see who makes the first contact. Odom spinning to get away. Benny Barnes. The ball is alive. Cowboys look like they mean business.
Ron Springs on the recovery. The Cowboys are the worst team in the league in terms of giveaways and takeaways.
Pittsburgh is the only other team with a higher ratio.
St. Louis beat San Francisco 13-10 under their new coach, Larry Wilson.
I hate to see Bud Wilkinson leave this league. I thought he added a little bit that's something that we've always wanted.
I thought so, too. Philadelphia, after their victory today, still leads the NFC East as you look at the standings. Of course, this is the game that's not complete yet. The rest of it is. Washington, 9-5. Dallas, 8-5 and driving.
Super Bowl team might come out of the NFC East.
Might. Dorsett behind Scott. Good defensive play. Brad Van Pelt. Here is Dallas' remaining schedule at Philadelphia next week. That is a Saturday game. And Washington will be here December the 16th to complete the season.
So will we. Warm up those nachos, right?
So as you look at it, the Cowboys really have things in their own hands. If they win all three, they are to be the NFC Eastern champions. You saw Washington's schedule. They have Cincinnati, and then they come here, as we mentioned.
Big offensive series for the Cowboys. They got to nail something on that scoreboard this time.
Third down. From the shotgun, Staubach looks, finds Dave Salvi, and it goes over his head.
Roger is mad at himself. He humped up and just overthrew that. You don't see that very often.
Landry has dispatched, Tom Landry that is, has dispatched Raphael Septien.
There's Gil Brandt's down there, huh?
Right. Those of you who watch St. Louis defeat San Francisco, welcome to Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas, where the score here between the Cowboys and the Giants is 7 apiece. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. You're looking at Raphael Septien at the moment, trying a 31-yard field goal. He missed earlier from 35. He hooked it left.
He's 7 of 10 now from this distance.
And it's almost in the same direction. Wide left. 5:53 left to play in the second quarter as Rafael Septien has missed from 35 and from 31.
He did get married last Monday. Maybe the change of lifestyle has him a little bit upset.
I thought it was the sunlight, but maybe you're right. First down, Giants at the 20. And Gary Shirk has it up the middle, stopped by Randy Hughes, but it'll be a Giant first down as they come right back.
No blitz either this time for some reason. Let's see what happens and how the tight end is left uncovered. It's a drop back pass. Some linebacker let him in there. It might have been Hegman's man. He let to the inside.
There's Harry Carson having his, like his left side of his face might be causing some problem. First down, Giants at their own 39. Score tied at 7, 5:15 left. And here is Billy Taylor. Taylor breaking tackle, still breaking tackle. Near another first down. Billy Taylor, who played at Texas Tech, 6 feet 215, would like to do well here.
Let's see how they handle Bethea, number 76. It'll be to the right of your picture here. Harvey Martin was stunning inside. They cut Bethea off to the outside, and that's where Billy Taylor has been living when he's had these big 100-yard-plus rushing days. Offensive left tackle spot.
Really not too much that Bethea can do when they have the stunt like that, because he's charging right out of the hole, and Harvey Martin's coming to fill. And here's Ralph Hawkins.
Now Hawk working with his linebackers and secondary people on defense.
2nd and 2. Sims is hit. Intended for Ernest Gray. Harvey Martin put the pressure on Sims.
Great coverage by Benny Barnes, number 31. And Gray can probably beat him by 5 or 6 yards and 40. Great coverage by number 31.
When a black school teacher running for local office is charged with kidnapping on the eve of the election, and even the alleged victim says he didn't do it, was it a frame-up? Watch 60 Minutes.
Sunday on CBS.
It's tonight.
There's big Mike McCoy. Remember the big Notre Dame All-American and giant defensive tackle that's on the sidelines there?
Double tight ends for the Giants. Lord McCreary and Gary Shirk and Roy Simmons lined up as the flanker on the right side, and that's the play they come with, and it'll get the first down for him. Bob Brunig filled the hole, but Billy Taylor with hard running has a first.
And Tom Neville, the elderly offensive right tackle, is doing a heck of a job. Looks like that the Cowboys even slanted that way out of that short yardage defense. In fact, Brunig has to make a heck of a tackle along with Benny Barnes.
They did a good job on John Dutton. Took him right to the ground. 14-14, Minnesota, Los Angeles.
Taylor now has 63 yards on 18 carries. It's a pretty good first quarter and a half, huh?
I'll say. I don't know how long he'll last at that pace. He's in the backfield with Johnson on first down. Taylor again. Good play this time on a good play by D.D. Lewis. And Harvey Martin helped out.
The linebacker, D.D. Lewis, knocked down Van Horn, who was trying to pull and get out of there. Looks like Van Horn is smoldering. Watch 63 pull now. Try to get out in front. And D.D. Lewis showed so early. He really did a good job. Fouled the play up completely.
So it'll be 2nd and 17 for Phil Sims. Look at Ernie Stutner. He'd like to get out there and play right now himself. Randy White has entered along with Thornton. Randy White chasing Sims and has him.
Great pass rush. Thornton, Harvey Martin, everybody came and chased Sims out. Remember, this young man only was sacked one time in the game up in the Meadowlands. And he's cool, steps up, decides it's covered. There's Thornton going by. Watch Randy White on 1.5 legs, or half a leg, whatever. He's still quick.
Quick enough to catch Phil Sims as they try to scramble out. Thornton fired off the ball. Very quick. Here's number 77, the rookie. Ernest Gray and Jimmy Robinson, the wide receivers. Here comes Gray in motion. Harvey Martin put the heat on, and a lot of heat was on. Pass intended for Billy Taylor. The defender slipped down, but Taylor looked right back into the sun and couldn't see the ball.
Billy Taylor didn't even know the ball was thrown. Here's Randy White and company up front. They run a twist on the strong side, and Sims didn't have a lot of time. Look at Thornton's man because he didn't get there sooner. Pretty good throw, though. Watch this, right out of the sunlight. Taylor never even saw it.
Never saw it. Jennings this time gets off a bomb. Wilson will field it. Almost taken down at his own 3-yard line. Breaks 2 tackles, gets out to about the 12. Perhaps he shouldn't have fielded it, but he did make a good run. Randy Cofield made the tackle. Penalty marker back down at midfield, and we'll find out what's that all about.
Early release downfield, perhaps?
Perhaps.
It's been very free of penalties, though. Haggerty's crew has sort of let him play honest, hard-nosed football.
That was our wish before the game.
Ineligible man downfield, number 58. We'll kick over.
They will kick it again. Ray Perkins. Roy Simmons, big broad back, blocking him out. There's Phil Simms. Looking at Butch Johnson over on the Dallas bench, who used to return punts for the Cowboys, yelling out at Steve Wilson, "Don't forget you can fair catch it."
It should be the first thing we learned if you played back there is get the hand up. I mean, if you wanted to, you know, raise a family or do anything like that permanent.
2 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first half. 7-7 score. The Cowboys have had 2 chances at field goals and missed them both. Jennings standing back at his own 25. Taking a lot of time. Another good kick, and this time Wilson does go up with a fair catch, and the Cowboys picked up 4 yards on that exchange.
He's just like his father, Tom.
And the Iranian situation at the half. 2:03 left to play in the first half. Dorsett and Newhouse, the running backs behind Staubach. Dorsett gets the carry, and Dorsett outside the 20 to about the 23, and that will put him over 1,000 yards for this year.
That's right. He had 36 yards rushing on 10 carries before that one. That will put Tony D over that mark. His longest run this year, a 41-yarder. Watch Van Pelt play this last running play. Dupree, one of the good blocking seal-off type tight ends. He's forced him right back into the play and hits Dorsett right on the hip.
As we mentioned, Dorsett goes over 1,000 yards, and I'm not sure if we'll ever gain 1,000, but we do like Dallas, don't we?
We play tough.
And hurt. John Brockington is the only other runner
It really hurts
in the history of the NFL to gain over 1,000 yards his first 3 years in the league. Dorsett ducking behind his blockers, picks up a couple.
It's funny how the 34 defense completely changed the Giants' frame of mind about defense. They attack now out of that. They used to sort of sit and just let you beat on them for a while.
Atlanta 14-10 over San Diego. There had been some reports circulating that Lehman Bennett might be out as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. That's been vehemently denied. And Lehman stated during the week that there might be some new players in the Atlanta uniforms.
Must have gotten them before the game today. They're playing a very tough team extremely well.
Timeout, New York. They have 1 left. Tonight on CBS.
Awfully sneaked up on the Packers.
In 60.
That's right.
The championship year. 3rd down. Saldi splits out wide to the left. Drawback on the draw play to Dorsett, and he will not have the first down. He is close, but not quite. Harry Carson anticipated.
Boy, what a tackle this is. If Harry Carson isn't one of the great tacklers in the league, Dorsett is gone. There's a lot of room on this. That quick draw. Well, Van Pelt had pretty good angle, too. Carson, though, really is can nail you right in your tracks.
Timeout has been called, I believe, by New York. And that's their last one. Shuffling going on as the Cowboys debated for a minute as to whether or not they wanted to punt or not, but Danny White is on, and they will.
Have you ever seen the sun any worse down here? That this late start might make it, but that is really right in the eyes of receivers, kickers, what have you.
There's that shadow. We didn't think it would be that much of a problem. This late in the day, and by the second half, it should have disappeared.
Now, football friend Eddie Asner.
Stars on Lou Grant. All on CBS on Monday night. Danny White on Sunday afternoon on CBS. Shanks this one. But taking a Cowboy bounce. Clock running, and now it goes out of bounds, and it'll stop.
But you know, looking into that sun, you must lose concentration. It's a lot like, I guess, a golfer that's looking in, says, you watch the ball, I can't even see it leave my club head or my foot. Receivers in football, Ernie Gray, number 83. Just jot down that number on your book there at home.
Bill Sims looks at him and finds him. And a perfectly timed battle by Benny Barnes knocks it away from him.
You notice the defensive back always jumps up and looks to see if a yellow flag is coming. Great play by 31, huh?
Kansas City 37-21 over Seattle in the fourth quarter.
It's ball control time. Giants got to go back to what they did so well in that first period. Run.
Sims back. Penalty marker goes down, and Sims goes down after he scrambles near a first down. He might have had it. Benny Barnes made the tackle on him, but the penalty marker is down, and I would imagine it's holding.
Harvey Martin claims he was being wrapped up. I think Van Horn might have tackled Big Harvey.
Time. This will push the Giants back a little bit closer to their own goal line. Dallas might be considering timeout. It'll be second down and 20.
Holding, number 63, offense. Second down.
Doug Van Horn, of course, is number 63 as Phil Sims looks over to the bench, picking up his signs, and Dave Jennings is at work in his home.
Of course, what Perkins' staff is saying now is don't lose the ball deep in the territory. Let's get a good punt and protect ourselves and go in at halftime with an even slate. This is a tough situation for a rookie quarterback right here.
Fifth defensive back in for Dallas is Dennis Thurman. Sims on a draw play. Billy Taylor, the ball carrier, picks up about 8. Cliff Harris, the safety man, made a tackle. Giants in a hurry up with the clock running at 1:08. Now they stop it. Over behind the Giant bench, a little homework.
Looks like a teacher grading papers.
A little written lesson for the halftime.
Give him a pop quiz, right?
Scores from Game State by the Saturday.
Regional. Third down, about 11. 1 minute, 7 seconds left to play. Cowboys have 2 timeouts left. That's left to play in the first half with a score tied at 7-all. Ernest Gray swings in motion. Sims under pressure, and he goes again. Dave Stalls, I believe, was the first man there.
And Randy White came around the horn. What a rush. Again, to young Sims' credit, he ate the football. It's hard to digest, but it's better than throwing an interception. Here comes the Dallas rush. Martin to the inside, a twist on both sides. Thornton comes up the middle. That is a team sack.
That's a half apiece for Stalls and White. Dave Jennings standing back at his own 5-yard line. Clock still running. 45 seconds, 40 now. At least that much will expire or will be left before he gets rid of it. Cowboys are trying to set up a return, and it looks like from the looks of this punt that they'll have a chance. Inside the 50 to the 49 is Steve Wilson. And a sports spectacular, don't forget also. World Cup skiing, 9-ball pool championship.
And a laughing Dallas cheerleader.
Highlights of the fight between Parlov and, is that Camel?
Marvin Camel.
Come on, Cowboys!
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Cowboys still have 2 timeouts left. The clock is stopped with 28 seconds left to play in the first half. Score is tied at 7.
Anybody better in the last half a minute than Starbuck? Maybe Jurgensen in his time. That's 2 of the best I can think of.
He lines up in the the shotgun formation. John Fitzgerald has operated at center throughout the entire contest. The protection this time is good. It's through the hands of Dorsett. Just as well he didn't catch it because Van Pelt was right there looking at him along with Beasley Reese.
Tony D is going to go back and ask Roger, has he done something wrong? Put him right in between two bad guys.
Dallas still with 2 timeouts remaining. 24 seconds left on the clock. Cowboys got a touchdown on a pass from Staubach to Pearson. Billy Taylor scored for the Giants. That's been it.
Will the Giants do any kind of crazy blitzing or anything, or will they play it pretty safe and drop everybody back?
I would guess they would not blitz. They have a 4-man front, 4-man rush. There is not a blitz, but the rush is good nevertheless. Staubach goes down. George Martin, the last hitter. Beasley Reese was the man who took Staubach down.
Now Reese, of course, is a safety man. He came up, and as long as the back didn't come out, he's free to go ahead and stay around the pocket. Watch the right-hand corner of your screen. You'll see the safety man. He sees Dorsett stay in, so now he's just going to go in there with the big fellas and see what happens, and I'll be darned. He got a quarterback.
It'll be 3rd and 17. Clock still running.
God!
Got to go for the bunch this time. If you can, George Martin takes down Staubach, and that should do it for the first half for both clubs. Clock stopped with 3 seconds left to play in the first half.
Second sack by the Giants, and number 11 for the year for George Martin. Went around Rayfield right and just kept heading for the QB.
You heard the gun. That will end the first half.
It would be a 7-all tie. Early in this season, we would have said, oh, come on.
Last game, the Cowboys won. And the onside kick, I believe, is going to be successful. Recovered by the kicker, Joe Danilo.
Never seen one of those, have you?
I have never seen that done.
Never seen the kick. They're going to get it. Terry Jackson jump. Here it is. It's the top of the ball. He's following it right over the 10 yards. It just made 10, and he's got it.
Now they say it's Dallas ball. Will we have an explanation for this? Penalty marker down.
Somebody offsides,
Must
perhaps?
have been. I think that must have been the indication. They did give the Giants the ball, but the indication I saw was offsides against New York, and that's the penalty.
Danilo is trying to find out who was offsides.
Maybe it was Danilo.
Side, number 81.
81.
That's Milady.
That's the new tight end they just picked up.
Of course, the Cowboys may have lost the Houston game, they think, by having 12 men on the field on a punt or field goal attempt. Only play with 11. But that was some trick.
I've never seen that done.
LA couldn't have done any better than that.
Seen on onside kicks executed, of course, many times, but not where the kicker recovers his own kick. This time he kicks away and kicks away strongly. Ron Springs takes it at the 7. Springs breaks out to the 34-yard line. A good return before Beasley Reese made the tackle. How about the halftime stats?
There are the stats. First downs, you can see Dallas with only 5, 48 yards rushing. Dorsett's been held to 45 yards on 13 carries. And again, if the Dallas team gets out of that ratio of 1 for 1, they like to run 1 and pass 1. When they get into too much of a passing situation, they do have problems.
That total yardage situation is sort of staggering, isn't it? Dallas has only 70 yards in the first half, and they're the leading offensive team in terms of yards, not necessarily of points scored. Here's Tony Hill in motion this time. And Staubach is going right to work. He throws in the direction of Drew Pearson and overthrows him. He was open. P.D. Lewis loosening up, I guess.
Do you know that he has illegally spat tobacco juice on every artificial surface in the National Football League? He told me that's one of his little idiosyncrasies. Wherever he goes on the field, he just, to warm up, he gives a little squirt.
On this one, too?
Oh, yeah, this is a home field, of course. Done it a lot of times here. Quite a player, too.
What has he spat?
Tobacco juice.
2nd and 10. his longest gain in a long, long time from scrimmage.
Started out the season with over 100 yards rushing against St. Louis. And since then, really, Newhouse has really had trouble. In fact, the whole fullback situation. Here he follows Donovan, the offside tackle leading him through the hole. Makes Mendenhall miss. Now, that's the Newhouse that we've been sort of used to seeing over the years.
Sort of rolling in there like he used to do. Still with Newhouse. No Laidlaw this time. Fake is to Dorsett. Protection is good. Dorsett has it. And has more than enough for another Dallas first down.
Roger called, or at least the Dallas bench called, what they call a trailer pattern from the eye. Newhouse goes through. Watch Newhouse go through. Then 33 will go through. Now watch Dorsett stumble and fall down and get back up. Everybody's forgotten about it. You can't forget about 33.
That's devious. Dallas with a first down at the Giant 38. John Dutton, that mountain of a man over on the sideline. 6'7". Ron Springs and Tony Dorsett now to set back. For Springs, he has it. The 10 is Ron Springs. Randy Cofield, one of the Giant defenders, but Springs went up between them and came down with it.
Well, Cofield had a chance to knock the ball away, but this time Roger just sort of floats it. And we've been told that Springs has great hands, and he's the heir apparent to Preston Pearson coming out of the backfield. That's a great catch.
Great knack of keeping his eye on the ball, and Tom Landry talking with Jim Myers over on the sideline in front of the Dallas bench. Dorsett and Newhouse now the running tandem for Dallas. And this is Dorsett. He breaks the tackle, almost broke another one. Cofield was one of the men who hit him.
Cofield and also Martin really came across the line of scrimmage.
Harry Carson, number 53, a helper.
Watch number 75 is a blur to the right part. He closes it down. Carson gets in there. Giants are really playing the 34 defense the way it's supposed to be played.
Their success coincided with their switch to the 4-3 and also to Phil Simms.
They've only allowed 8 TDs rushing the whole season. That's pretty good defense.
2nd and 9. They can make a first down without scoring a touchdown. Dorsett again, the ball carrier. Much room. He moves inside the 10 to about the 7. Randy Cofield again on the bottom of the pile.
You know, when Lloyd went down, the Giants toyed with the idea of maybe going back to the old 4-3 set. But as we've told you, Tom Landry and this Dallas team, they can really block if you just come out and line up in a 4-3.
Since Scott Laidlaw has had problems with his neck, Tom Landry has gone back to his old system of shuffling tight ends to send in the plays. But now late coming in is Preston Pearson, and Newhouse hustles out. It'll be 3rd down. 7 for a first, 8 for a touch. Drawback. Looking for Pearson. Has it. Touchdown. Great move.
What a pattern. He may have hurt himself spiking the football. Did he come down on the ball that he spiked?
Well, he threw the ball into the stands, but he might have hurt his ankle when he came down. What a way to get hurt.
What a pattern he ran. He came back in motion, took it to the inside, made contact with Jackson, and then slipped out, took a perfect pass from Roger. Boy, he did hurt himself.
That looks like an ankle.
That's Scott on the left, Rafferty on the right, and Fitzgerald's battling with Mendenhall. Wide open. Let's see what happens on the spike.
Twisted his ankle.
This is the right ankle as he came down. Got to be a moral there.
I'll say there's a fine that goes with throwing that ball in the stands. But the fine is not what's serious right now. That could have twisted his right ankle. But
He's never had any knee problems
never,
before, has he?
Not before that. And as you said, there's a moral to that story. That is Eddie Hicks. And remember that onside kick that the Giants recovered that opened the second half, and that looms more important now, doesn't it? Here it is from Danilo.
Here he kicks the top of the ball. Danilo does. And the offsides just to the right of Danilo. That's number 81. That's a pretty close call.
And Danilo made the recovery. The Giants were offside. They kicked off and Dallas took it down the field. Here's Johnson breaking tackles and outside. A good sizable gain for a Giant first down. Larry Bethea finally made the tackle. The scoring drive after the good kickoff return by Springs, who also made a clutch catch in the middle of the drive.
And a 20-second touchdown pass for Roger Staubach this year. Here's that last running play. Bethea being handled by Van Horn. Clack turns back, and without Randy White, and he is not on the field right now, they look like the team plays a little soft on that side.
Randy only plays today, at least, in the passing situations. Here is Sims down the middle, and it's picked off by Cliff Harris. Harris back in Cowboy Giant territory. I'll get it right in a minute. Back to the 42. Out of Cowboy territory into Giant.
Well, that's so unusual. I understand what you mean. That's only the 12th interception for the Cowboys all year. And for Harris, this is only his second. Boy, these are important. Takeaways instead of giveaways. That's how you go to Pasadena sometimes.
Dallas up by 7, looking for more. Drew Pearson did not return to the lineup. He's sitting down on the bench with an ice pack on his left knee. The information that came to us is that he twisted his left knee, but he should be all right.
This is a 100th consecutive game, too, that he's played in for the Cowboys.
Here is Robert Newhouse. Newhouse near a first down for Dallas. Harry Carson on the tackle.
Great block by Rayfield Wright. The off tackle pulls all the way in front of the offensive line. Watch number 70 now come into view and throw a tremendous body block on Brian Kelly and spring Newhouse to a tremendous hole. That's a great block.
Steve Wilson has replaced Drew Pearson in the Dallas offensive setup as they measure for first down after that run by Newhouse. Quite enough? Or is it enough? It was enough.
Cowboys with 2 takeaways today. Fumble recovery and an interception.
Laidlaw has replaced Newhouse. Larry Cole over on the sideline, relaxing. With Dave Stalls. John Fitzgerald has played the entire day at offensive center, as well as the rest of the offensive line for Dallas has stayed intact. Tony Dorsett, a good block by Billy Joe Dupree, and Dorsett has another Dallas first down.
Dupree got a great block from the tight end spot by peeling back. And notice how Roger Staubach almost doesn't get the ball to Dorsett. Dorsett starts out, comes back around. Roger has to reach. Watch Dupree right there. A legal crackback block.
And that was Herbert Scott that got the other key block on Randy Cofield. And Cofield limps off.
Good tackle by Reese in the open territory on Dorsett.
There's Ralph Hawkins looking on. That defense is coordinated by him, Dorsett and Newhouse. Now the tandem. Staubach is going to put it up. Had Newhouse. Penalty marker down.
A little holding on Donovan, perhaps. He was working on Jeter, and they battled all the way across the field.
Word from the Dallas bench is that John Dutton now has an injured knee and will not return. We didn't see that happen.
It's been a long season. They started early July.
We have holding, number 70, offense, first down.
Rayfield Wright, guilty of clamping on.
Landry keeps notes, which he refers to from time to time. Dallas leads at 14-7 with 8:30 left to go in the third quarter. Dorsett is the ball carrier. Tripped up by Randy Cofield, who's back in the lineup.
Dallas knows now. They probably have filtered through the word that the Eagles did beat Detroit, like by a bunch. And should the Cowboys lose this game to the Giants, they could not win the NFC East title this year. They'd still be a wild carder, but they would have no chance of being the titleists. This is a very important half of football for Dallas.
The Eagles' record after their victory is now 10-4. Dallas went in at 8-5. Washington 8-5. Washington's already won. So they are 9-5, and Dallas struggling to stay tied with them. New York struggling to stay alive in the playoff picture. Staubach also struggling to stay alive.
Van Pelt, 6'5" linebacker with speed, comes right up the middle and was not picked up. I don't know if the back swung out. Let's see where Newhouse went, the fullback. Maybe Roger tried to get him into the passing flow. And Newhouse sets up. Oh, he picks up a little bit late as Van Pelt made the move and slipped by the fullback.
Third down and 26 and out of the field goal range of Raphael Septien now after that sack by Van Pelt. Landry about to go to the telephone.
Now the Giants got to get a little help for Terry Jackson against Hill, Tony Hill, number 80.
He split wide to the right. And Roger looks left for Wilson. Has him. Hang on. Ray Rhodes was the Giant defender. Tony Hill had the double coverage. Wilson had the single, but couldn't find a handle.
There's spats breaking out all down the secondary where Saldi and Hill were down there battling Jackson and Reese in the group.
Drew Pearson testing out that knee that he twisted in a rather foolish fashion.
Danny White, when warming up, told Odom, he says, "I'm not kicking a ball to you all day." They laughed about it. Let's see if he gets away with it.
He does kick. He's been known to take off, but I doubt it on fourth down like this. Going for the sideline, Odom goes up with a fair catch signal. The ball bounces straight up, and Dallas. Jay Saldi downs it at the 8.
Did you see where Benny Barnes was? He was down at the 5-yard line just in case the ball got away from him. He was ready too.
The Giants will have the ball at their own 9-yard line. 7 minutes, 1 second left to play in the third quarter.
Where is Butch Johnson? Why wouldn't he come in for Drew Pearson? I wonder.
I don't understand that.
Every time he gets in, he makes something happen for Dallas.
Bill Sims has Ken Johnson, and this man, Billy Taylor, as the ball carriers. Randy Hughes, a strong safety.
Boy, Dallas got into that flex setup of theirs, and Bill Austin, the offensive line coach for New York, said he hopes they don't play the flex because it is tough to block. Play looks good starting out, but the guys in the gap like that in that flex, you can't get to them and get the pursuit and cut them down.
Only a yard for Billy Taylor, 2nd and 9. Giant 10. Dallas leads 14-7 with the clock running, 6.5 minutes left to play, third quarter. Ernest Gray goes in motion. Benny Barnes goes with him. Bill Sims gives to Johnson, and Johnson is down about the 12 after a pickup of 2. Larry Bethea, the first man to hit him out of the Dallas defense.
That time the Dallas flex was to the strong side of the field, Harvey Martin's side, and they collapsed on the running play. I don't think you make it to Pasadena without playing tough defense either.
That's always been the case. It'll be 3rd and 6. Dallas at Philadelphia next Saturday here on CBS. And boy, what a game that ought to be.
Could sell 300,000 seats in Philadelphia for that game.
They might move that over to the place where Army and Navy played yesterday. Still calls all the plays. Randy White in the contest now on 3rd down. They said he would play in passing situations. Let's see if that develops. No. I don't know what the first down either is.
Got offensive holding, I think, on the line of scrimmage.
Stalls tripped him up. The ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage.
Cliff Harris refused it and said, "Let's get the ball. Let's give it back to the offense."
Dave Jennings standing back at his own goal line. Wilson and Wade Manning stand back deep for Dallas. They usually go with one man back there, but Manning goes back with Wilson this time. Manning moves back up now, closer to the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys do not appear to be setting up an attempt to block this kick. A line drive kick. Wilson has got some room and takes advantage of that kick to get back down to the 42-yard line where the Dallas offensive unit will take over. Keith Eck and Randy Cofield made the tackle. 14-7. Dallas in a struggle, but leading by 7.
And jugglers and singers of songs. It's great to come to Texas to see a football game, though, isn't it?
I think we should identify ourselves. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. It'll be 1st and 10. 5:29, and Rogers going to put it up on 1st down and does. Incomplete, intended for Billy Joe Dupree.
Caulfield can really play. He's not a big linebacker. He's only about 212 pounds. That was a heck of a defensive play by number 59.
Guess who's back at wide receiver?
Number 88.
Drew Pearson.
88 and out the gate.
I got a feeling that he, after what he did and the way he hurt his knee, he just couldn't stay on the sideline.
Remember what they were telling us, the PR people were, about his father-in-law, Marcus Haynes? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Atlanta 21 over San Diego, 21-17 over San Diego. That's a third quarter score. Here's Dorsett, tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good play by John Mendenhall. Forced him to change direction and fall down.
How did Mendenhall get away with pulling the side that way? Anyway, they say that Marcus Haynes, the great Harlem Globetrotter, the great dribbling expert, had a beach ball one day in the living room. A beach ball, and Drew Pearson said that he tried to get it away from him, and that Marcus kept the ball moving so fast that Pearson couldn't even touch it.
And he bet him he couldn't touch it, and he couldn't.
$10 worth.
Drew Pearson, the walk-on quarterback, ex-quarterback from Tulsa. Marcus Haynes is his father-in-law. He's put wide to the left. Starback shotgun. Going deep for Drew. Got him. Third of the day. No spike. Ray Rhodes.
What a pass by Roger Staubach, and what a catch. Woo. Hello, Thunder. Here he is on the isolate. Left knee looks all right. Right ankle's right there. Here's the drag out by the tight end Dupree. And he's just running a post, and Rhodes lets him get on the inside. Now he can't catch it. That ball was laid right over.
And he kept his balance and did not spike the football.
He's getting closer to. That may have put him over. They did put him over 1,000 yards.
I think it did. Notice how gingerly he put the ball down that time. Yes, that did put him over 1,000 yards for the year. The Cowboys have only had 2 other receivers to get over 1,000. He was one of them. The other 2 were
Lance Rensel
and Bob Hayes. Now let's go to Brent Musburger. The first Dallas touchdown, Staubach to Pearson. The second Dallas touchdown, Staubach to Pearson. And the third, just now, Staubach to Drew Pearson.
That's 23 for Roger Staubach. What is he, 37 years of age?
I believe nearing 38.
Just gives us all a lot of hope. Us elderly people.
37. Correct. Raphael Septien will kick off. Cowboys now lead the Giants 21-7. Staubach is 15-1 career against the Giants. Steve Odom deep for the Giants. The only time he ever lost to him was here at Texas Stadium, 14-6. That touchdown was a thing of beauty.
Here it is, Roger from the shotgun. A drag by the tight end to your left. That means he takes the outside route, and the post pattern, a lot of room just to work toward the ball. And watch how he relaxes as the ball settles in there. That's the mark of a great receiver.
Septien made another visit over to the sideline.
Now, New York, of course, will have to play catch-up, which is not easy to do against any team, but Dallas in particular. Young Sims capable of coming back and getting 2 touchdowns, you think, against this defense?
Well, New York has had great difficulty scoring many points all year long. against this tough Dallas defense, which now smells the playoffs. It's going to be even more difficult. Perhaps the most difficult situation that Phil Simms has been in all year.
Yeah, you get near playoff time, some of those guys look right through you. Look out the window when you got tears in your eyes, huh?
Not many of them say hello. Septien's kickoff, of course, went out of bounds. And he's kicking off from the 30 this time.
It's Odom.
Odom again.
Dennis Thurman made the recovery. I believe it was 32.
That's correct. Dallas will have it at the 35.
The ball may have shot right off his right knee. Let's see if he pumps it out when he gets hit. He's one of the great kickoff return men in this league. I think he's third on the all-time number of returns. Let's see who makes it happen. Like Huther, number 57, perhaps, got the first contact.
The captain of the special teams. And a Giant is down. Dorsett with room to the 25. Perhaps a first down. John Mendenhall on the tackle.
That big Cosby, the Santa Clara rookie, got a heck of a block.
He's number 84.
A lot of people now are going for two tight end offenses, and don't be surprised if next year more of them even join the club. Oakland proved you can do it. The quality is there, and Cosby is really a big dude. He's about 6'5½", 235 pounds.
That's the way they get the plays in now. A little bit of confusion on the Dallas huddle side right now. That, by the way, is the first time, or this, I should say, is the first time Drew Pearson has ever caught 3 touchdown passes in the same game. Here's Dorsett. A penalty marker down. Dorsett bangs down to about the 18.
A fellow named Bob Hayes once caught 4 touchdown passes.
That was back in 1970 in the Cotton Bowl. I'm sure that Bob is looking on today. There's Drew Pearson, or there was. Here's the penalty walked off against Dallas. They lead 21-7, and they're smelling a little bit more, it looks like.
We have holding number 61, offense.
Anybody play the rush better than the Giants right now, though? I'm telling you, on the line of scrimmage, for that first 5 or 6 yards, they'll really bang you.
Well, the key to that three-man defense, three-man line defense, everybody tells us who plays it, is the nose tackle. And they've got a good one.
He's got a control and slide, and that's Mendenhall.
Right. Second down now, about 12 for a first down for the Cowboys. Drew Pearson split wide to the right. Tony Hill over here on the left. Dorsett will look for room and will not find it. Taken down by Randy Cofield. He's a 4-year veteran from Florida State, number 59. His team going to the Orange Bowl, his college team.
Well, this is some tackle. He learned well. Wrap him up. Main thing is being aggressive. There's a tendency as a young player to go into a position that a veteran had, like Lloyd, and perhaps playing too tentative, but he has been very aggressive in there.
Jay Saldi comes wide to the left, along with Drew Pearson and Preston Pearson. So 3 receivers split to the left. Staubach from the shotgun. They do not blitz. Staubach throws. Not quite enough for a first down. Saldi has the completion. Alan Caldwell made the tackle. Saldi having trouble getting up and a little upset about it.
Saldi's been battling with every member of the secondary for the Giants since the opening shot.
Raphael Septien has entered. He missed twice in the first half from 35 and from 31. This one is going to be from about 45, maybe 46.
And the holder is also a passer named Danny White.
That is a good point to remember. Septien, by the way, is quite an athlete. Quite a good athlete.
A good racquetballer, too.
Remember that our friend Herrera caught a pass for the Seattle team a few weeks ago against Atlanta, wasn't it?
True.
27 yards. No good. And the boos accompany Herrera's departure. Tonight on CBS, no boos.
How about being known as Gonzo?
I'd just like to be a tycoon. Here's Phil Simms outside to Johnson. Chased by Brunig and knocked out of bounds by Bob.
Pretty good idea by the Giants. Take what the defense will give you for a while. Don't go all the way up top. Now, the one time that we have seen Simms sort of air it out was against the 49ers when he threw deep to Ernest Gray. But the Cowboys have had Gray under wraps most of the day. Trying to see if he has any catches there.
Cowboys have changed things around again, where Larry Cole has now moved out to defensive end, and Stalls is in a tackle. Johnson tries to run to the outside and does get about 4. Very enthusiastic display of banners here today. CBS #1, Tony D, that's Dorsett for president.
What's this?
John R. Bolt for vice president.
Let me spell my name again.
And they want you to be chief pilot.
P-I-L-E-T, huh?
What is it they want you to pile, you think?
Whatever I'm good at. I guess that's self-explanatory, huh?
Second down and 5. Take this to Johnson. The pass. It's caught by Shirt. Chased by Brunig. Shirt knocked out of bounds inside the 10 at about the 4-yard line by Cliff Harris and Bob Brunig. Tight end Gary Shirt.
And of course, he's the Moorhead State grad, a little before young Simms went there, but he has a 61-yarder this year and 2 touchdown catches. And he is deceptive all the way across. This is a 6 from the tight end spot to the right side of the formation. Nobody was around. In fact, Brunig's the nearest guy to him, and he throws the middle linebacker.
I can't believe he's supposed to be covering the tight end. There must have been a mistake in the coverage.
Safety must have gone to lunch.
Now they go back to that goal line formation when Simmons lines up in the backfield, and there are 2 tight ends. It's first and goal at the 4. Johnson hit at the 4. Knocked back by Brunig and Bruce Huther.
Young linebackers are getting a chance to play a lot of football now with Dallas. Guy Brown, of course, has a hamstring pull, or he's having some leg problems, but he's a good athlete too, and he hasn't had a chance to do anything but cover on kickoffs for a couple of years around here. Eggman.
Dallas using 4 linebackers now. Huther. Brunig. Guy Brown. Lewis. Handoff is to Taylor. He slices down to about the 1. Benny Barnes stripped him up.
Taylor is really a good-looking young running back. Second year out of Texas Tech. Remember, he's 215 pounds, 6 foot tall. You almost got to be compact like that to run inside. Benny Barnes makes first contact, and D.D. Lewis helps on the ground.
They might get this play off before the end of the 3rd quarter. Don't. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Dallas leads the Giants 21-7. The Giants have it 3rd and goal at the 1. They ran only 5 plays in the 3rd quarter.
Taylor and Johnson in there. Johnson's the blocker.
Double tight end. They should go right. That flanker's over there, and there they go.
Harvey Martin, all the way for the backside of the play, Patrick. An explosion.
If you remember in the game up in New York, the Giants came up with a great goal line stand. They actually lost yardage here.
There is a lot of contact today. This is as good a hitting football game as we've seen all year, I believe.
With a quarter to go, they will not go for the field goal. They need 14 points, and now Phil Simms calls a timeout. Now that might cost them before it's over. They've used 2 already. Only 1 left.
A pass, of course, goes incomplete. It comes out to the 20 on 4th downs.
So it's 4th down. And now they have 2 to go for the touchdown. Phil Simms has had his conference with head coach Ray Perkins and his staff.
And he has a 7-yard rushing average himself.
They do not go in that goal line formation. They go in the regular split back set now. And Simms will, it would appear, put it up. He goes down. Dallas has him. The sack led by Dave Stahl.
And Harvey Martin. And I believe Dupre was in there too. Or Buffet, I mean, was in there. Straight drop back pass. Not much deception there. Why they didn't roll the young quarterback out a little bit, oh well, that's hindsight. Straight drop back. You don't make anybody move at all.
You know, it's ironic. The last game that the Cowboys lost was against Houston, of course, Thanksgiving night. And one of the reasons they lost it was because they had 12 men on the field one time, and they gave Houston a clutch first down. The 12th man was Dave Stahl. And
he's making up for it, huh?
He's making up for it. Here is Dorsett. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. John Mendenhall, a giant bench now. Without question, thinking about what kind of call was that.
But has anybody changed the attitude of a team more quickly than Perkins did? He got a late start anyway, got his staff together. Some fellows quit and went back into private business, and he got Austin, and they have really turned the entire franchise around in New York or New Jersey.
Steve Wilson is split out wide to the right. Dorsett goes the other way. Corner outside the 15 to about the 18. He did all that on his own. Harry Carson made the tackle.
That was in the Canadian League, he'd have scored.
The wider field?
The wider field, only 2 yards. You realize how many times he almost gets to that corner, and they just cut him off at the pass. You better get a rope on him early.
He got 9. For the day, Dorsett has 22 carries, 78 yards. Not one of his banner days, but it's pretty tough. Not many backs get more than 100 or do get 100 against this giant defense. 3rd and 1. About Newhouse's turn, and Newhouse bangs the left side for a first down. Harry Carson hit him hard, but the Houston grad picked up the first.
The Cowboys do have one thing in their favor going down the stretch. They play the teams that they have to beat. They do control their own destiny, which I think is a lot better than watching scoreboards while you're battling somebody.
They play Philadelphia next week on Saturday, a game that you'll see here on CBS, and then many of you will see the regular season finale from right here against the Washington Redskins. It's first down. Newhouse has the carry. 12:55 left to play. Randy Cofield on the tackle.
But it's also better to play your way into the playoffs by having to win late. Because if a team sews it up early, sometimes you have a tendency to sit around and read your press clippings and get comfortable at home, and then you have trouble getting it turned on again.
How about after you get into the playoffs? Would you rather play that extra week, or would you rather have that week of rest?
Oh, boy, it's been with 16-game seasons, they're tested. 45-man squad just isn't large enough. I think they probably need the rest.
I think you're right. And, of course, you get that rest if you're the division champion. Dorsett hurls his body straight ahead, stopped by Brad Van Pelt. Roger Staubach today, 8 out of 16 for 141 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ray Perkins and Bill Austin.
Great percentile just jumped up again when Dorsett has over 20 carries. Bruce Jolis just brought this into me. When he carries over 20 times, the Cowboys are 13-1, and he has 23 carries now.
On 3rd down, Staubach gives it in to Dorsett. He has another first down outside the 35.
Make that 24 carries. Inside handoff off the shotgun. A play they have to start using a little more. They ran it one time against the Eagles on Monday night. A couple of runs out of the shotgun will take a lot of pressure off Roger when he has to load it up.
Remember, they used to throw that little shovel pass. In fact, they used it against the Rams when they beat them in the championship game.
Preston Pearson coming inside, huh?
Right. 11 minutes left to play.
You've got a great memory. You remember a lot of things.
Look at Newhouse. Close to another first down. The best he's looked in a long, long time.
Again, the defense for the Cowboys. That's Oldham that's getting up. Ray, of course, had the bad ribs we told you about. But the defense has played very well and aggressively for the Cowboys. And they're opportune, and they've made turnovers, and they've sacked. And then suddenly your offense says, okay, we've got it all going. Let's go for the playoffs.
Second down, about a foot. Newhouse, 7 carries, 38 yards. And they need some spark from that spot. Dorset. Close to, and perhaps he got enough for the first down, but that's all he got. Brad Van Pelt on the tackle.
Talk about leather slapping. Giants really loaded the line of scrimmage that time, and I don't believe he made an inch.
It's like you're right. They put up the third down indicator.
Be careful on short yardage. The Cowboys have been burned on short yardage a couple times this year. Mr. Campbell did it last week. Wilbert Montgomery did it a couple of weeks ago.
This would be Bart Starr, Green Bay Packer time. Fake dive, and there's no fake. It is Dorset for the first down. A penalty marker down. It looked like the Giants might have jumped offside.
Roger went a little bit late. He used the old Annapolis count.
Had to be proud of his Annapolis team yesterday. They looked awfully good against Army.
Looked like Van Pelt may have just gotten the helmet over the line. But I'll tell you, the Giants are still banging.
At midfield. Dallas first down. A loss would eliminate the Giants from Super Bowl possibilities. They were slim coming in. A loss would end them all.
Killer Miller just came in playing nose, giving Mendenhall a little rest.
Well deserved. He's played a good game. This is Tony Hill out wide to the right, Steve Wilson to the left, and this is Robert Newhouse. There's no place to go. San Diego has gone ahead of Atlanta 24-21 in the fourth quarter.
Falcons are playing very well. They must be telling front office Lehman Bennett's a pretty good coach and our kind of guy. I like what Perkins did with the Giant team, though, when the little things like he lets them pick out their own shoes, their own hats, helmets, personal stuff. It's very important.
Like grown men.
Their own sport coats. He lets them wear the clothes that they want, everything.
Lined up in the eye is Wilson, and now he comes out. Stallback throws to the outside. Tony Hill. Hill has another Dallas first down. He's out of bounds. In Giant territory, Ray Rhodes on the coverage.
Tony Hill, one of the most recruited athletes in Southern California history as a quarterback at Long Beach. Is that incredible? All the quarterbacks become good receivers. In some cases, great ones. He is untapped so far as his potential.
Billy Taylor, also a great prospect. Good player, Billy Taylor.
It's a Red Raider. I bet he knows a lot of people here today from Texas.
A lot of fans around. Wilson, motion right. Newhouse. Motion downfield. Inside the 30 is Robert Newhouse. Brian Kelly finally tackled him, but the Cowboys have chewed up chunks.
That's my rhinoceros running friend. This looks like 44, right? Stumpy but steady and tough. I really like it. He's quite a tennis player, I understand. Except when it comes to jumping the net. But he does play a lot of tennis.
I think I'd lob a lot.
Send him to the back line, huh?
Just shy of a first down. Dorset, the lone setback, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. And Dorset will get the carry. Dorset will have the first inside the 25 to the 23. Johnson, and Brian Kelly stopped him. Cowboys eating up the clock now. 7:40 left to play in the game. They lead 21-7.
Dorsett has so much spring that he almost carried Carson along and lost the little middle linebacker, which is hard to do when the guy weighs 235. Dorsett he just sort of explodes.
Cowboys beat the Giants the first time at Giant Stadium with 3 seconds remaining on a field goal by Rafael Septien. He has missed 3 today here. Dorsett is hit hard by Randy Cofield, or is it Brian Kelly?
Cofield, and I believe on the Dallas side of the stripe. Pretty good tackle.
Los Angeles now against Minnesota has taken the lead 21-14. The Rams win. They lead the NFC Western Division, a half game ahead of New Orleans.
Cofield beat the block, huh?
Minnesota would be out of the picture.
You said young Kramer looks like he's really improving for the Vikings, huh?
He looked good last week against Tampa Bay. Salve goes out wide to the left. Again, the 2 tight ends are there. Dupree on the right and Cosby on the left. Dupree stays in the block.
Oh, that's a great play. He actually had 3 tight ends in the game, and they actually run Dorsett out in the flat, which pulls the linebacker out in front of the receiver. All Sully did was go down about 12, hook it in, and of course, Staubach lays it right in.
This game, of course, going back to New York, and you mentioned the fact that Billy Taylor has a lot of friends in this area. Saldi grew up in White Plains, and he's got a lot of folks up there that are close acquaintances. He goes wide to the left again, and Dorsett is the lone running back. It'll be a draw play. Dorsett goes over 100.
On the good draw play, the offensive center usually gets a real clean block because it looks like pass. Let's see what happened on the line. Fitzgerald lets Mendenhall take a side, works into the outside, and Oldham puts a tough tackle on Dorsett.
Good block by Jim Cooper, the right tackle, too, who's taken Rayfield Wright's place.
Fitzgerald plays hurt and plays extremely well, doesn't he, day after day?
Dorsett, 28 carries, 107 yards now. Over 1,000, over 100 on the same day as Newhouse does not get in. Cofield on the tackle.
Notice Jim Cooper's playing right tackle. He started at, right guard. He started at right tackle some this year, but he can play center, guard, tackle. I guess it's a great thing to have, though, when you're, like we say in a long seasons and playoffs, a guy that can play everywhere.
Cooper's now moved out to tackle. Rafferty is the offensive guard next to Fitzgerald. And this will be Dorsett. No spike.
Pretty good pulling guard action by Tom Rafferty, the Penn Stater. As we said, they pull extremely well. Watch the left part of your screen. That's the pulling guard. He goes out, takes Van Pelt. Be careful spiking that ball.
Rafael Septien will try to make it Dallas 28. The Giants 7 from the hold of Danny White. So the situation in the East would appear that it will remain the same. Same 3 teams in contention: Philadelphia, Washington, and Dallas, with the Giants out of the playoff picture. All right, thank you, Brent.
Some drive. Mostly Dorsett, a little bit of Saldi.
Some of Newhouse.
Right.
Septien now. Kicks off to Jimmy Robinson, back at the 6. To the 36. Young Phil Simms now has got the challenge before him. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left to play. 1 timeout left, trailing 28-7. Aaron Mitchell made the tackle on that last play.
Giants were down there knocking for that one touchdown when it was 21-7, and the 4th down sack. Pretty bitter.
At the 36-yard line, Phil Simms has Doug Coder as one of his backs. Simms being chased by Randy White. Throws to Billy Taylor. He goes out of bounds in front of the Dallas bench.
Randy White, even on the bad foot and all, he still motors. 255 pounds, and I'm sure Simms could hear him behind him.
Still seems to be able to, with that tremendous upper body strength that he's got, get rid of blockers. Nobody ever gets to him, it seems like.
He said he just could not put his foot on the ground, and as I say, to have him coming home from work, not being able to play, he must be like a bear around the house.
They haven't won a game since he got hurt.
Good point.
14 for 126. Ernest Gray and Robinson, the wide receivers. Bruce Thornton, the rookie, is starting to come on a little bit too.
Didn't even start at Illinois, but the scouts at Gil Brandt's group projected this guy as a very good pass rusher that can learn to play defense against the rush.
6'5" and 265. You will remember what Jim Finks told me, the general manager of the Chicago Bears. When he talked about Bruce Thornton, he said, you just watch. Landry will take him and make him into a player.
Good point.
Sam hits Billy Taylor, who also takes a hit from Cliff Harris.
Cliff Harris, when I saw him on the field before the game, he said they run a lot of center patterns, so you'll see a lot of contact. A lot of people say he hits like a linebacker, number 43. He is tough to catch the ball on.
White Scales enters the picture. The Giant offense. Faced again is Phil Simms, and Larry Bethea takes him down.
Look at the enthusiasm. Bethea and young Thornton. Uh-oh, now Simms gets hot. That's all right. That's a good sign, too.
Like Bethea might have jumped up in the air and come down on some part of the anatomy of Phil Simms. There, Simms kicked him in the head.
But accidentally.
Yes. That makes it okay. Dave Jennings. Roots a good one. Manning, I believe this is. Wade Manning, the ex-Ohio State baseball player, returns that kick. All Big Ten outfielders, as a matter of fact. Along with a guy named Rick Leach. Larry Brinson, Danny White, and Ron Springs now make up the Dallas backfield.
Brinson is, what, a 9'5" hitter man. When he stays healthy, he's quite a fullback prospect.
They say he is going to be or could be one of the best. But he keeps getting hurt. Number 36. Here's Brinson. They lean for about 4.
It's a pretty sophisticated play to have a bunch of young people in there. White called a ripper there. They had a stacked deck and then moved out of the eye with a man in motion.
Tony Hill checks in with the play now.
Danny White's daddy could play, you know, at Arizona State.
Oh, yeah.
Kicked off, ran from running back, threw passes, caught him.
They're smiling in that Dallas huddle. They lead 28-7. You know, over the years, Tom Landry has come in for some adverse comments, some rather strange comments, and recently some from players just been released, Thomas Henderson. But I'll tell you what, if we all lived by Thomas Landry's standards, we'd all be a lot better people. Standings in the NFC's Eastern Division, assuming, of course, that Dallas does win this game, they lead 28-7. Philadelphia 10-4, Washington 9-5, Dallas 9-5. The Giants drop to 6-8, St. Louis 4-10. And we will be in Philadelphia next week. Here is Ron Springs.
And Washington goes against Cleveland. a team that can test anybody and has most of this year.
Washington has Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Yes.
That's a team for a whole training camp. He's really one of the good little young organizers, I think, around. He's proven it.
Dallas has a third down situation facing at their own 35. They need 6. Danny White sidearms to Wilson for the first down. Steve Wilson. The Cowboys keep the possession of the football. The Giants have no more timeouts.
Wilson's quite a young player for a rookie, isn't he? Acts like he's been around the league 6-7 years. Cool as heck on punts. Comes from Howard University outside of Washington.
Realistically, the teams left in the playoff picture of the NFC East are Tampa, Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, New Orleans, the Bears after beating Tampa Bay today, and the Rams, depending upon what happens in that game out on the West Coast today. They're playing Minnesota. They were ahead when last we looked. Here's Springs. The midfield, or close to it. Penalty marker, I believe I saw, but I'm not sure about that.
Suppose the commissioner's watching the game today? Commissioner Rozelle?
I would think so.
It was his system that sort of made it close right down to the end for these last 2 seasons, then.
Parity. Director today, Sandy Grossman.
Our producer.
Bob Stinner, of course.
$1,000 worth of nachos last night. That's a big bill to float through Black Rock.
Wasn't only nachos.
Had to wash it down with something.
Yeah. Second down. 5. Give them. Brinson and Springs shift around in the backfield. And Brinson gets the carry, slips down in the backfield.
Got so much salt in my system, I can't even sweat today.
I'm gonna try water one of